We're here to talk about winning one last football game. We're here to talk about win number 10. Let's get into it. Cheez-It Bowl, December 27th, 5:30 p.m. on the networks of ESPN. Florida State and Oklahoma. When these two last played, number 5 versus number 1, it seems like there's always something big on the line because of course it is. It's Florida State and Oklahoma. One's always playing for something. But this time you saw that bowl matchup. I know the team certainly didn't see it this way, but some fans went, Oklahoma? Really? Aren't they 6-6? Aren't they having that? But listen, you can spin it 6 ways to Sunday. Good team, bad team, big name program, little name program whatsoever. Oklahoma hasn't had a perfect season, but they've still got plenty of talent on both sides of the ball.
Plenty of talent. They always have. They always will, no matter what their record says. This is a very, very good Oklahoma football team talent-wise. They're going through some hiccups with Brent Venables, who is in his first go-round, first year as a head coach. We know about all of his success as an assistant, as a defensive coordinator at Kansas State, at Oklahoma, at Clemson, obviously. He and Mike Norvell have crossed paths a long time ago in the coaching side of things when Coach Norvell was at Tulsa. Brent Venables was at Oklahoma as an assistant and as a defensive coordinator, and obviously a couple of seasons ago, just last season, at Clemson in that tight game in Death Valley. And so, a lot of fun storylines here. One of the interesting points I think that, I don't know if many people know about Ryan, but, Bobby Bowden's first bowl game in 1977 was in the Tangerine Bowl in Orlando, beating Texas Tech, and it allowed Florida State to get to a 10-win season that year. Mike Norvell's first bowl game, Cheez-It Bowl in Orlando, potentially getting to a 10-win season in his third year at Florida State University. And so the historical connections are interesting. I think the coaching connections are very interesting. Obviously, these players, even if they haven't played against one another, I find interesting that Dylan Gabriel was great at UCF, teammates with Tatum Bethune, knows the Orlando area very well. He's a gunslinger and an excellent quarterback. They've got some really good pieces that he can throw the ball to. Marcus Mims is a scary target for them at receiver. Drake Stoops as well. Bob Stoops' son is a heck of a player. And so they've got some talented guys there, some talented guys that have left and aren't playing in this bowl game. But anytime it's Florida State and Oklahoma, it's got historical relevance to it. It's got blue blood relevance to it, and we're going to have a fun football game.
This, of course, the 7th meeting all time between FSU and OU, and a little bit of the historical elephant in the room. Florida State has not won a game against the Sooners since their very first meeting in the Gator Bowl. Coach Bill Peterson. Mm-hmm. So Mike Norvell has a chance to do something that Bobby Bowden nor Jimbo Fisher were able to do in their time in Tallahassee, beat OU, and that's not something you get to hear a lot of. You get to do something that Coach Bowden couldn't do here?
Well, and that's the hope, right? That's the hope, and you're always living up to the legend that is Bobby Bowden because of his time, his career, what he did in making Florida State football what it is today. And so you have that opportunity, certainly against Oklahoma. In bowl games, a lot of people know this, and we talk about it a lot. Who has more to gain? Who has more to prove? Who wants to be there more? What trajectory are both teams on at the end of the season? I don't think there's any question. Florida State is on a much higher path and trajectory right now than Oklahoma at the end of the year. I think they want it more than the Sooners do right now. We'll find out certainly when the boot meets the ball after 5:30 p.m. Eastern, December 29th. But with the way the Noles have been playing, how well it feels like they're connected right now, you've got positive vibes, Ryan, going into this game down in Orlando.
We're for that kid who just scored his first goal. We're for the new hire who's just looking to fit in. We're for that person who's impossible to shop for. We're for congratulating you on all your years of hard work. We're awards for you, and we're for helping you celebrate life's special moments.
Madison RV and Golf Resort is a camper and golfer's dream. We invite you to come stay with us, play our challenging layout, 18 tee boxes and 9 championship holes, rolling terrain, and a golf training facility. catch and release fish, relax in our new pool, or play pickleball. Madison RV and Golf Resort is the perfect location to enjoy the outdoors in a relaxing, fresh air atmosphere. Madison RV and Golf Resort, Madison, Florida, just off I-10. Reserve your spot today. MadisonRVResort.com.
All right, you mentioned Dylan Gabriel. Let's get into it, because I was able to see him with my own two eyes just as a freshman when FAMU played down there. I want to say that was back in 2019. Even then, you saw the ball, you saw the way that he could just make throws into a bucket, and you went, wow, this guy is really, really talented. I get that he's had some injuries around him. I get he's had some injuries to himself. I get he's got some opt-outs in this game. But if you're Florida State's defense, if you're Adam Fuller, the QB has to be number one primary concern for you.
You got to be ready for him. He can sling it. He's got great accuracy, and great ball strength, right? I mean, he can zip it. He can sling it. And the tempo they play with, everybody sees a little bit of that in this day and age of college football. Oklahoma goes really, really fast. And they also have run the ball quite well this season also. But they're without their top rusher in Eric Gray, who is moving on and will not play in this game to head to the National Football League. So Gabriel is tremendous. Florida State has seen some excellent quarterbacks throughout the season already. It's another fun challenge for this Florida State defense, and you feel good knowing that you got the top passing defense in all the ACC, one of the top passing defenses in all in college football, and the best statistically here since the 2013 National Championship season with what this defense has been able to do against the teams that like to put the ball in the air. So one last time for this group here in 2022, and an excellent challenge against a heck of a player in Dylan Gabriel, as you talked about.
Other side of the ball, offensively, we don't have to sit here and sing praises because we'd be here for a very long time. We know Florida State in every single phase of their offense has gotten it going. We know Trey Benson has emerged as someone who can be a superstar player for the Noles moving forward into 2023. We know that this passing attack, again, is going to come back pretty much fully intact next year. But right now, they're pretty darn good. Jordan Travis, the man who makes it all go, he's coming back next year. He had a really, really special game against the Gators. Of course, we haven't been able to talk about that here yet, but this is an Oklahoma defense that, despite Brent Venables, despite his pedigree, has had its ups and downs this year. You look no further than that Red River shootout where you got blown out by Texas. What really for you, as you've looked in and you've started to dive into this Oklahoma team, is going to be the key for Florida State to keep doing what they're doing?
I think that's just it. It's just be yourselves. Again, going back to some of the things we've talked about with his offense to end the year, no matter who the opponent is, this team doesn't have to change a thing. They just have to go out and impose their will and be themselves. Oklahoma's been bad defensively this year, and that's surprising with a guy like Brent Venables who is looking to instill his culture in Norman. They have not been good, and statistically, they have a tough time stopping the run. They're not really stopping much of anything, Ryan, right now overall. They just lost an overtime game to Texas Tech on the road, 51-48.
Really good game.
There were over, I think, 1,100 yards of total offense. It was like an Arena League contest in Lubbock that afternoon, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So, you give somebody more time. Obviously, you can game plan some more. Brent Venables will certainly have something dialed up for Mike Norvell. Mike Norvell will certainly have something dialed up for Brent Venables as well. I would expect the Florida State offense, we've seen them start fast throughout the entire season with scores and touchdowns on the very first drives of games. I'll be interested early when you have a month off. Can you regain your rhythm and regain your timing that quickly, immediately in a game like this one against an opponent like this? I think there's going to be a lot of chances for some big plays for Florida State in this contest offensively, a lot of great chances in quarterback run for Jordan Travis. And so I have a lot of confidence, Ryan, in this Florida State offense being able to have a day and have plenty of success against Oklahoma defensively in this game.
And it just kind of feels like, rather than ask you about the key to the game, I think you'd hit it perfectly there on both sides of the ball. Keep being you. Mm-hmm. Keep doing what you're doing, because it's worked in a big, bad way. I mean, Florida was able to have a little success offensively throughout the first half, but you saw the Florida State defense adjust throughout the second half. You saw Anthony Richardson have some real troubles throwing the football. You're not too worried about that unit as a whole right now. Yep. if you're Florida State, it's just a matter of, does this team that you're going to see on the 27th look like the team you saw throughout November? Because if they do, you're not going to feel too bad about it.
Well, I think fast start as well. I mean, this is an Oklahoma squad that is a little bit snake bit at 6-6. They're 3-6 in the Big 12, finishing up their year.
In what was a really tough league this year.
Right, and a loss would be the first sub-par 500 season, sub-500 season since 1998 for Oklahoma football. So they're going to fight against that a little bit, but I feel like there's a potential if you get on them early and start fast, you could see the here we go again mentality for the Sooners pop in this contest, and then the rest of the day could be a big garnet and gold party down in Orlando if you're able to get that done.
Well, we'll certainly see what happens in the City Beautiful. Of course, by the time you see this, Christmas will have come and gone, maybe, at least this portion of our interview. But, of course, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. No, it's really, really exciting to look forward to what's going on at Florida State 2023.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be a lot of fun. Can't wait to see all Noles fans in Orlando. Happy holidays to everybody out there. Happy holidays, Ryan. Thanks for having me.
Same to you, Jeff.